Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel where I will be crocheting it forward in this video by showing you my new baby Afghan pattern. Now what I've done is I've incorporated a bunch of different patterns into one. The first thing I did was make strips of corner to corner, and then I used the mile a minute concept by joining those strips with a continuous join or join as you go, which is a granny, and I've done that before. And then I did my sleepy teddy bears, and then I did my border. So it was super simple, super easy, beginner friendly. And I'm not sure what I'm going to use for the title because it's a C2C mile a minute, join as you go, sleepy night night teddy bear, all into one. So it's going to be interesting to see what I come up with. So without any further ado, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is get our materials, and I'm going to do this blanket Afghan in segments. And first thing is the C2C strips that we're going to use. So I have here some scissors. You'll need a sewing needle, and for this project I am using an L 8.0 millimeter crochet hook. So I have chosen turquoise, and this is a Red Heart Super Saver yarn. I think the package says turquoise. So let's get our slip knot. Then we're going to chain 6. That's 3, 4, 5, 6. And I have my yarn here, my little colander. Okay, and then in the third chain from your hook, you're going to make a double crochet, and in the next 2 stitches, 1 double crochet. Okay, we're going to chain up 6. That was 3, 4, 5, 6, and in the third chain from your hook, you're going to repeat that. Make a double crochet, and then another double crochet in the next 2 stitches. That one's kind of funny there. Okay, then we're going to flip this one up, and then we're going to slip stitch into that chain 3. We're going to chain up 3, and then make 3 double crochets in that chain 3 space. And this is just your traditional corner to corner pattern. Got a little piece of white there. Okay, we're going to chain up 6, 1, 2, 3. I like to pinch it there. 1, 4, 5, 6, and then in that third chain from your hook, we're going to make a double crochet as well as a double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Okay. We're going to flip this up, the part on your left hand. We're going to slip stitch into that chain 3, chain up 3, and then make 3 double crochets in that chain 3 space. Now these strips are going to be 6 blocks in width and 25 blocks in height. So I'm going to go ahead and work up the 6 so that you'll know I can show you how to decrease. So I'll just make these other boxes kind of quick. So that's 1, 2, 3, chain up 3, pinch, 1, 2, 3, yarn over, make a double crochet, and then 2 more double crochets. Flip up our work on our left side, slip to join, chain up 3, one, 2, 3, slip to join, chain up 3, 2, 3, 4, and remember those chain 3s in your blocks count as a double crochet. Like that one is going to count as 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 3 double crochet. So each block has 4 double crochets. Chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, double crochet in that third stitch from your hook, as well as each of the next 2. Okay, pull up, slip to join, and we'll see how many we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, a little bit more. Oops. Double crochet, double crochet, double crochet, slip to join, chain up 3, double crochet, double crochet, double crochet, slip to join, chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, slip to join, chain up 3, and 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1 double crochet, 2, 3, flip our work, slip to join, 1, 2, 3, and this is our 6th row. 2, 3, slip to join, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, slip to join, chain up 3, whoops, 1, 2, 3, slip to join, chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, and 3 double crochets. Okay, I believe that's our 6th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we're not going to increase anymore. So we're going to chain 3, turn our work, and then slip stitch. So every time you come down to this side, you're not going to keep going this way. You're going to chain 3 and turn your work and work upward. 2, 3. But on the other end, we're going to still increase because that's our height. This is just our width. 2, 2, 3, slip to join, 1, 2, oops, 3, 2, 3, slip to join, 2, 3, my fingers are tingling, 4, slip to join, 2, 3, 4, slip to join. And I just wanted to show you how the other end of this piece we're going to continue to increase. And we're almost there. Slip to join, chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we have our piece here like this, and we're going to keep going up till we have 25 of these little blocks. But on this end, we're not going to increase. We're just going to keep putting our black here, chaining 3 and turning. Okay, if that makes sense. Again, to continue your increase, you always chain up 6. If you're on a side where you are decreasing, you only chain 3 when you turn your work, if that makes sense, if that's helpful. So I'm going to go ahead and let you work up your 25 rows, and I will meet you back. Okay, moving forward, I have my 25 rows on this side, as you can see, and I already so now I'm coming back to it, and I want to show you how to decrease real quick. So we're going to chain 3, and we're going to finish this black. 2, 3, and then we're just going to slip stitch, and that's what you'll be doing on each side. We're going to chain 3, turn our work. You will not be chaining 6 anymore because each side is a decrease now. Chain 3, turn your work, and then make another 3 double crochet in that chain 3 space, and just continue on as the pattern calls. And I just want to do this to the other end so that you can see what it looks like. For some of you viewers who are not quite familiar or quite seasoned with the corner to corner or C2C pattern, it can be a little tricky sometimes. And then, just like I mentioned, every time we get to a side, we're just going to slip stitch, chain 3, and turn our work, and slip stitch again until you're going to keep doing this from here to here until you get one block, and I'll meet you back. And also grab your pillow color yarn, whatever color you want your pillow to be. Mine is going to be white, and I will meet you back. Okay guys, the next part is adding the pillow, which is just 5 rows up and 5 rows across in your pillow color. So if you don't have that, you might want to grab that. I'm doing mine in white, but for now let's just finish up our 5 by 25 strip, corner to corner strip. So I'm on my very last black here, and I'm going to chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then make my 3 double crochets in that space. Okay, slip to join. And even though you have that last block there, you never want to chain 1 and cut off here, fasten off here. Okay, you always want to finish that chain 3, turn your work, and complete in the corner, okay, with the slip stitch and then a chain 1. So we will go ahead and fasten off, and that is done. So I'm going to grab my white real quick, some of these colors out the way. Get our slip knot. Okay, and how we're going to determine which side to start is we need to find the square that's going to go the same way as our chain, the same direction as our chain 6. So this is sideways and we're going to be going up, so we don't want to start there. But if you flip it around, you should have the double crochets going the same direction as your chain 6. So that's where we want to start. Because what will happen is, you know, we end up turning our work, and it ends up going in the opposite direction, and that's what we want. So somewhere here in the corner, we want to just go ahead and fasten on, and then make our chain 6. I like to do my 3, pinch, and then my other 3, and then go back and double crochet in those first 3 chains. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now what we're doing is turning our work, and you see now the double crochets are going opposite of this black right here that we started, and that's exactly what we want. We want these double crochets to face the opposite way. So once you attach with the slip stitch in between these blacks, you want to chain 3, go into your next space, slip stitch, okay, chain 3 again, turn your work, and then make your black of 3 double, finish your black with 3 double crochets. Now the pillow block is going to be a 5 by 5. So we're only going to go up 5. We're only going to increase until we get 5 on both sides. So this will be pretty fast. And again, it's the exact same thing that we've been doing. We're just attaching this. So we're still going to be increasing on the outside. So we're going to chain 6, chain 3, pinch, chain 3, make 3 double crochets in the first 3 chains. You can make your pillowcase in any color that you want. I'm flipping my work, slip stitch, chain 3, and 3 double crochets. This pattern is very versatile. You can make the blankets in different colors, the strips. It's totally up to you. Okay, chain 3, double crochet, and then we're back to our piece, so we're going to go into our next space and slip stitch to attach, chain 3, go into your next space, slip stitch, whoops, chain 3, turn your work, and now we're building into our next row. 1, 2, 3, slip, chain 3, whoops, 3 double crochets, and the pillow works up really quick because it's, again, it's only a 5 by 5 block, or a 5 by 5 block. I can't talk today. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is our last block. It's our last increase of this row. So we're still chaining 6 and then making 3 double crochets in the first 3 chains. Okay, flip our work, slip to join, and then just continue on. You can even make these blankets and pillows in even variegated yarn. I think that would be different. I just want to finish this because I know it's an attaching C2C piece, and some people might not be familiar with that, especially when you have to attach to the initial 25 by 6 block. So, and you know what, I stand corrected, this is a 6 by 6 block, not a 5 by 5. My apologies. I don't know where I got 5 from. Okay, so here we go again. We're slip stitching into the next space to attach this block, and then we're going to chain 3 and then slip stitch somewhere in this corner. You want to go in a stitch where it's not going to leave a big gap. Okay, that's not going to work, so I'm going to do at the top of this double crochet, then you're going to chain 3 and turn. So now when we come over here on this side, we're just going to be decreasing. We're not ever going to chain 6 anymore because we've already met our spot where we're not increasing anymore. Okay, slip 1, 2, 3, and I'll just get to the bottom of it, or get to the end of this row, and then again just review how that decrease is going to work. It's just like you did for this piece. So let me just crochet along here. Oh, I'm sorry, and if I haven't mentioned, I have a Crochet It Forward channel on Facebook. I'll try to remember to put the link in there, but you can also search me. It's all one word. You can check there periodically for any new patterns or updates. Okay, so now again, we've already met our 6 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, we have not. We need one more. 1, 2, 3. This is our 6th. I stand corrected. It's the other side. I was thinking that we had met our 6. Okay. So again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are no longer going to increase, we are just going to decrease, and that's always going to consist of a chain 3, turn your work, slip stitch, chain 3, and then double crochet in that same space to finish your block. Okay, slip, and then we're working. So I'm going to go ahead and let you finish that, and again we're just going to go finish this right here and finish that, and I'll meet you back. Okay, so moving on, the next thing we're going to do is get our attaching color that's going to join our bed strips. So I'm using red, and I'm just going to go through 1 corner, 2 corner, and then let you finish. And it's pretty easy. It's going to set us up for our joining stitch. So what you want to do is come in between these 2 stitches on the side. You want to fasten on, and then we just want to chain 3. And this is basically all we're doing. So again, try to get into a stitch. You don't want to get into like in the middle right there, because that's going to be really gawky. I like to try to get at the top of a double crochet. Okay, and then we're going to chain 3. This is how you would do a corner. And then we're just going to slip stitch, chain 3, slip stitch in your next space, not slip stitch, I'm sorry, single crochet in your next space, chain 3, slip stitch, I said it again, single crochet in your next stitch, I'm so sorry, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, and those chains can be kind of challenging. Just try your best. And then excuse me, again we're at a corner, we're going to chain 3, and then I think I'm going to go in there, single crochet, 1, 2, 3, and then go to your next stitch. It's always going to be in between those spaces, and single crochet, and you're going to do that all the way around. It's your corner right here, chain 3, single crochet in the corner, chain 3, same right here, come all the way back, and I will meet you back here and I will show you what to do next. Thanks. Okay guys, so the next step we're going to do is go ahead and finish up our setup row of chain 3s and single crochets. We're just going to slip stitch right into that chain 3. Okay, and now from here we're going to start making our clusters. So we're going to chain 2, this is what I like to do, and then single crochet on that second chain from your hook, or you can chain 3 if you're not comfortable with that. Go ahead and make 2 more double crochets. We're going to chain 2, it's just like a granny corner, and then move on to our next chain 3 space, and then make 3 double crochets. Okay, so for each chain 3 space along the side, and I'll go ahead and do a second corner with you, we're just going to make 3 double crochets, a cluster, in each chain 3 space. No spaces in between. You just move right into your next chain 3 space in the same color. Now your first strip you're going to always have to complete. Put my light one out here. There we go. You always have to fully complete your first strip, and then from here when you attach or join as you go, then you can get like half of it done and then attach, and it just works up super duper fast. So then now we're on our next corner. Okay, I don't know what the deal is with my light here. Okay, so we're at our next corner. Again, we're going to chain 3. Double crochet 3, chain 2, and then moving around onto that next side, immediately do a cluster of 3 double crochets. So that is how we're going to finish this square, and come down and then come all the way back, and I will meet you back here. Okay guys, so I'm just finishing up my granny stitch row here, and I'm in my last chain 3 space. So I'm just going to make my last 3 double crochets, and I've already cut this yarn, so, and then I'm going to slip to join to that single crochet I made, which is why I do this, because it's a pretty clean join. Okay, and then we'll chain 1, secure, and now we have 1 whole strip done. So we're going to put that right here, and every time you join a stitch, you're going to start out with your chain 3 setup row, which I've already done on this next one, so I can move this video tutorial along. Only at this time I started in the middle of the pillow right here at the top. So I'm in my last chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to slip to join in that first chain 3 space. Okay, and then I'm going to do what I did with the other one, with the first one initially, is chain 2 and then make my single crochet, or you can chain 3, whichever you're comfortable with. Make 2 double crochets for my cluster, and then keep going. And then I'm going to make this first, will probably be the last one. Just depends which way you're looking at it. The first or the last of the corner. But we did make a chain 2, remember? So I'm only going to chain 1, and then I'm going to grab my first finished piece, and then, you know, just join it. What I did is I chained 1, because, you know, we chain 2 in our corners. So we're going to chain 1. I'm going to take my hook and stick it in that chain 2 of the first piece. Grab my yarn, pull it up, and make that second chain of the corner. Come back, and then right here I'm going to go ahead and make the 3 double crochets. Okay, chain 1, and then go into your next space and make a slip stitch. Pull your yarn up, chain 2, the second chain, and then come in over here and make your other double crochet. So you will repeat that, and I will do it one more time all the way down till you get to your corner. Chain 1, go into your next space, slip stitch, make a second chain, and then go to your next cluster. Okay, and then you'll see how these are matching up. These 2 and them 2, and then all the way down. Go ahead and finish, and I will go over this next corner with you in case it gets a little confusing. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I'm at the next corner, and I just wanted to show you one more time. I just finished up my cluster on my working square, and then slip stitched over here to the first square, the first strip, I'm sorry, I keep saying square. So I'm going to go ahead and make my 3 double crochets for this corner. I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to go into this corner, slip stitch, make that second chain, and then come back to the side, the next side, start my next side of 3 double crochets. And that's how you do the corners. And then just keep going all the way down. That's how you attach your strips. Go ahead and attach as many strips as you want, and when we return, we will be ready to do the teddy bear. Alright, finishing up our granny square join. I'm on my very last strip. And let me just get these last 3 double crochets out the way. And then I'm going to slip stitch to the top of that single crochet and the first double crochet with this strip. I've already cut my yarn, so oops. Okay, so now you should have, I'm sorry if I didn't mention, but my blanket has 5 strips, which is 5 beds and pillows, blankets and pillows. And then with the join, you can certainly make yours bigger if you want, but this is what my pattern is. Now, we're not done, because you see this right here? We need to fix this. So I'm going to put one more round of granny square, okay? And you can do that in that same join color if you want, or you can use a different color. I'm going to use this green, and I think it's called, what's it called? Green. Anyway, I did want to mention that I'm also using Mainstays along with Red Heart Super Saver. They're both a worsted weight number 4 yarn, and I've done projects with them both, and they work out really good. So real quick, I just wanted to show you, because this first part is just the C2C mile a minute strips Afghan join, and I just want to show you guys when you come in here how you're going to handle those. So I'm going to join right here in the second strip. Okay, wait a minute, I don't want to do that. I want to do an airborne double crochet, or you can do a chain 3, and then again I'm just hanging on to my yarn with my fingers, and then going through the first 2, second 2, and that gives me a double crochet. So then I'm just going to make 2 more double crochets, and when you come to 2 strips joining right here, we're going to skip this one, but we're going to put a cluster in each one of these. So this will even it out, and it won't look so out of place, because you have like everything else matching, and then in your corners you just have these awkward chains. So by putting this extra row, it's making the strips come together more neatly, or so I think. I don't know what is up with my fingers. Kind of tired, been typing all day. Okay, so I did want to show you this before moving on. So then it looks like that. We don't want to do anything with these spaces right here. And then in the corner, you're just going to do the same thing and put 2 double. You're going to put a double cluster here, a cluster here. Well, here, let me show you. It's probably not going to take that long, so it's better if I just show you. And again, you can use the same color. It's totally crocheter's preference on how you choose your colors for your Sleepy Teddy Bear Mile a Minute C2C Baby Afghan. Gosh, lots of names there, huh? I don't know how I'm going to condense that for the title, but I'm sure I will make it work. Okay, so again, we're just in the spaces making your typical granny pattern of 3 double crochets. So now we're in the corner, and in this corner we're just going to make a standard granny corner of 3 double crochets, a chain 2, and 3 double crochets. So you will do that for every corner. Okay, and then just move on. And again, when you come to these, when you come to the strips joining, you want to put a cluster of 3 double crochets in each one, and then a regular corner there. So go ahead and finish up. When we come back, we'll be ready to do our Sleepy Teddy Bear. Okay, moving on to the second part of our pattern, which is going to be the Night Night Teddy Bear portion right here. And it does look complicated, but it's really not. And if you've been following any of my patterns, they're pretty much the same. What we're going to do is get our little teddy bear, and you want to pick out 2 colors. And and then we're going to do a shell here for like a collar. We're going to do a little triangle with a little pom-pom at the end for his nightcap, and then some paws, which are going to be super easy. So we did decrease our crochet hook. We are working with the eye, which is a 5.5 millimeter hook now, because these 6x6 squares, which is the pillow, are a little bit smaller, and it would not have worked out with that big hook. So I just have, again, continuing to use Red Heart in Mainstays. I just have this beige right here that I'm going to use for his face. So what you'll want to do is go ahead and grab that. If you need to pause the video, go ahead and do that. Okay, and then we're going to get a magic circle. You can do your magic circle however you like. I just do an unfinished knot, and then I slip stitch to secure, and then I chain 2, which never counts for anything when I'm working with double crochets. Okay, and in this magic circle we're going to make 10 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you can close that up at any point. 6, 7, 8, oops, 9, 10. I'm just going to close that up, and then we want to slip stitch to the top of the first double crochet and not the chain 2, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you're not sure, just feel free to count back. So we're just going to slip stitch there, and then this next round is going to be increases, and that is a chain 2 again, which just gets us our height, and we're going to make 2 double crochets in each stitch for a total of 20 double crochets for the end of this round. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, oops, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, and then we are going to slip stitch, but we are going to change colors, so whatever you want your hair color to be, go ahead and grab that. I am working with like a gold or mustard, and I'm just going to go ahead and change my color. Whoops, I can't use that one. That belongs to the teddy bear. That would so not work. Okay, grab the right one here. And I think my yarn broke. Ugh, that's one thing about some of these yarns, sometimes they just separate. It can be a little tedious. Okay, so what I like to do is tie my yarn. I know some people don't do this, some people do. I do. I hope if I'd tied the right yarn. I think I tied the wrong strand. Okay, so from here, we're just going to make 1 increase round. Okay, so we're going to go back in there, back into the same stitch that we're in, and make 2 double crochets. 1, 2, and then we're gonna 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets in the next, 1 double crochet in the next, and that's the repeat. 2 double crochets, 1, 2 double crochets, oops, 1, 2 double crochets, oops, 1, 2 double crochets, 1, I got this light on me and it's kind of hot. Let's see if I can move this a little bit there. So where do we end? 2, 1, 2 double crochets, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm going to see if I can't figure out how to fast forward. And you are going to end like with the 1 double crochet, and then we're just going to come over here and slip stitch to the beginning. Okay, and then the next stitch you want a single crochet. We're going to skip the next stitch, and then in the next stitch we're going to make 7 double crochets. It's going to be like a 7 double crochet shell. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip the next stitch, single crochet in the next, slip stitch in the next 2, okay, single crochet in the next stitch, skip 1, and in the next stitch make our 7 double crochet shell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to skip the next stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, and then just slip stitch in the following, and you're done. And leave enough room for sewing. I would say 12, I don't know, 12 to 14 inches. And there you are. So go ahead and grab the yarn that you're going to use for his cap, his nightcap, and his little collar, and I'll meet you back. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is make the nightcap, which is this little guy right here. And basically what we're doing is making a pom-pom, turning it upside down and working from the pom-pom up, making double crochets, increases on the ends only until we get to 10 double crochets. Okay, so grab your yarn. Let's get a slip knot. Okay, and you want to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And then that first, well, we're going to yarn over, and in that first chain we're going to grab our loop, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, but do not finish that. We're going to do that 3 more times. That's 1, 2, 3, and then our last time. It can be a little tedious. I find if you just do it slow, it'll work. And then we're going to yarn over and pull through all of them. Okay? And then we're going to flip it upside down. And right here is the chain we went into, which is pretty stretched out. Then all we're going to do is slip stitch in there. You can get your tail out the way. And that's going to secure our little pom-pom. Okay? From here we're going to chain 3, single crochet in that second chain from your hook, and then go back into that same stretched out chain, that very first chain that we did our popcorn stitch in, yarn over, pull through a loop, yarn over, pull through a loop, yarn over, which is a double crochet. So now we have 2 double crochets because this chain 3 is serving as a double crochet. We're going to chain 2, turn our work, and then make 2 double crochets in this first double crochet and 2 in the next. Okay, 1. Okie dokie. My hands are really stiff today. It's really cold out. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. We're going to chain 2, turn our work, and then we're only increasing on the ends. So our first stitch is going to be an increase, 1, 2, 1 double crochet for 3, 1 double crochet for 4, and then 2 in the last, 5, 6. We're going to chain 2, make an increase in that first stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8. And then this is our last row. Chain 2, turn your work, increase in your first stitch, 1, 2, 3, I knew that was going to happen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then your last stitch is going to be an increase for 9, 10. And there you have your 10 double crochets, and then leave enough room. I always say about 12 inches. You can't go wrong with 12 inches. Okay. Now, in order for us to accurately place his collar in the middle, we're going to have to grab our black thread and get his face done, because his nose is going to center. It's going to help center the collar for us. So go ahead and grab, if you want to pause the video and grab your sewing needle with some black yarn. Come on back. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, and you know, what I found is you don't want these to all be exactly the same. Okay, have them be a little different. It's perfectly fine. They're rustic pieces. I mean, if you want to have them the same, that's you can drive yourself crazy with that. I'm not. All my, you know, sleeping bears look a little different. Their noses are a little different. Their mouths, their eyes, everything, even their paws. So we have their individual personality. So all I did was just I went in the back and came out, and you kind of want to just use these circles right here as guides as far as centering them. So then now what I'm going to do is come down here, okay, and just go in between some stitches. And you're going to get the stuff in the back, but that's okay because we're going to end up sewing them all anyway. So if you hang on to your piece like this with your 2 fingers right there, and then these 2 fingers, that'll help get you some good leverage. And now I'm just going to go smack dab in the middle, okay, right there. And then I'm always going to come over here, okay, and then go through a couple stitches, and then I always want to leave a stitch in between right here for his eyes, okay. Otherwise, if you stick your thread through there, the eyes are going to be together and they're not going to look right. And then just try to match how, you know, the length of that. You just want to match it. You want to copy it and make sure they're kind of the same. That works for me. So what I do is, because I know these are going to just be sewn on, I'm going to go ahead and cut my black yarn and then get my end pieces here that I haven't sewn up everywhere, and then just tie them all. The only thing I'm not going to tie is this one. You don't want to tie that long one, your sewing strand or tail. And you just lightly, or gently, should I say, gently, just go ahead and tie them all. You don't want to scrunch them, because then your face is going to be all scrunched and your eyes are going to be all different, bunched up. It's not going to look right. I like to put a, I don't know, 3 or 4 knots in there. And I just cut this. And then we have our little fella here. And I always keep an extra small hoop on standby. And if you have to fluff up the eyes a little bit, pull them out, that's fine too. Okay, so from here we're just going to flip this upside down, get our yarn the same color as our cap. And again, you can use variegated yarn for this. It really doesn't matter. It's totally up to you. Get our little slip knot on. Okay, so we know that his nose is right here, so this is going to be the center stitch. I'm going to count over 2 to the left, 1, 2, and in that second one I am going to make a single crochet or latch on. Then I'm going to skip that next one, and then the next one is where I'm just going to make a 5 double crochet shell. And that's all I've done for his collar. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we skip the next stitch, make a single crochet in the next, and you're done. Like I said, I'm always trying to simplify stuff. Make stuff as simple, even though it looks complicated or difficult, might be a little tedious, but that's his collar. So, what's the next thing? Oh, next thing we're going to do is his paws. I've already done one, and all this is a round of 10 double crochets, and then I took my needle and my black thread and I just made 4 lines for his paws. Super easy. So again, we're going to get our yarn that we're using for his ears and the outer part of his face, and we're going to make a magic circle. I'm going to chain 2, which doesn't count for anything, and then we're going to make 10 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Close our circle, single crochet at the top of that first, okay, or slip stitch to the top of that first, and then this also, you probably want to leave about 6 to 8 inches for sewing on this. So we do go around. Go ahead and grab your black yarn, and I did notice that with these paws, this is driving me nuts, this is where I joined some yarn. There's a little fuzz ball. So you have your top, and then you have your bottom, and whichever one has the longest. Some of these double crochets are shorter and some are big, so you want, either way, you're going to stick you're going to start from the back in the middle. Okay, don't push it all the way through, hang on to it with your finger. And then what I like to use as my guides is these stitches right here. In between, there's little dots right there. that's what I like to use as my guides. So I'm going to go in one, come out the next, go back into the middle, okay, and go back this way, from the back to the middle. So we're going to always end up in the middle. And then my last stitch is going to go in there. Okay, so now we have a paw. And then again, all I'm doing, and I'm getting the sewing part yarn or strand out the way because we don't want to use that. You want to cut enough on from your needle, from the yarn on your needle, to be sure you have enough to tie a knot. And again, not a really strong knot or a tight knot, just enough to secure it. And then cut off your ends. Go ahead and make another one so you'll have two, and I will meet you back so we can sew everything on. Alright, so what I've done is I've grabbed my blanket and I got my sleepy teddy bear and my needle, and just your needle because you're not going to need to thread it because we have some right here that we're going to use. And then what you might want to use is a pin right here, a stick pin, so you can keep your piece in the middle. But before that, we're going to go ahead and sew in our sleepy cap. So go ahead and get that, your needle threaded. And I found that this was really in the way a lot. So I'm going to take my smaller hook and just work this end in, down, out of the way. So I know when I was crocheting the other ones, it was all over the place. And again, we're just taking some back loop stitches and then just working it down and making knots. Okay, so now we have our cap, and what we're going to do, we're only putting it on one side, so we're going to cover one ear. And I know you're thinking, oh God, what a waste, why did we even have to do that ear? But we just did. So find out which side is going to be your front and your back, which you probably should have did that first before sewing in this end. And what we want to do is get this part near this ear, because that's where we're going to start, and it generally matches all the way down. So what we're going to do is just go ahead and start sewing our hat in and out. You can make them, you know, in and out your stitches. And be sure that you leave this down. We're going to only crochet around here. Okay, so don't mess with that because we have to bend that. So it will tilt. And then again, I'm just going in and out. Want to make sure that we go through all of this one time, at least. Oh, you're going to be tilting it everywhere. No worries. Okay, from here, I am going to go in and out these stitches right here. I don't want that lifting or coming out. You know, if the baby blanket gets washed or gets tugged on, I want that really secure. There we go. Now we're back to the beginning, and I'm good with that. So we'll go ahead and make a knot. What I usually do is just come back here, make 1 or 2 knots, Okay, and then I come back and then just get it lost right inside the hat. So I don't have an end to sew in. Squeeze it a little bit and then fluff it back out and it's lost. So we got the hat part in. And then we'll sew the other part when we bend the hat. So what I've done is I put a little box here so you can kind of see it. But we want to put our shell in the middle. You have 2, 4, 6. So we're going to put the shell right there in the 2 middle ones. And then I have a pin because that helped me. If you don't have a pin, that's fine. But it'll help me a little bit. So the first thing I do is I flip it over. Okay. And then I get my collar out the way. I'm going to show you how to do that. Let me see if I can lift this box up so you can see. And I'm just going to go ahead, but I don't want to. Yarn this side. Okay, and then I just surface. I take the surface of the loops, okay, and secure them as best I can. I know I didn't leave too much room here, but just so that this color does not go to the other side. Okay, and then just in and out, just the surface. Okay, we're going to lose that, and we're going to do the other side. And this is a little tedious. Some projects you're going to run into are going to be a little tedious, but it's worth it in the end. Again, I'm just taking like the surface stitches and securing this. Probably should have left a little bit more, but I'm more worried about the collar because I know I'm going to come back around on the face and secure that. So as long as I'm good with this, and then do a knot, and then go back through, and let's get this one lost. Okay, and now we can come back through, come back around, and then sew the face on. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and thread our needle. And then because this is way over here at this end, this is so awkward for me. And I know I'm going to come back and do that one because I have to sew this down. Okay, but let me see how I can do this without it. So I'm just going to start right here because this is where my yarn is. So from here I'm just going to surface sew. Okay, I'm not pulling all the way through. We don't want that because we don't want these colors to show on the other side of the Afghan. You can just take 2 of the loops. I always try to get at least 2. And you just sew all the way around. Okay, I got this part, so I'm just gonna cross over here and grab this other part. And we're just going to grab a couple loops at a time and then just sew. There might be times when you can't grab 2 loops. That's fine. Don't like sweat it, but just try. And I want to show you that you can't see it in the back. See? So as long as we're grabbing these surface loops, we are good. And it does work up really quick. I'll take my pen out, look where we're at, and I messed around and cut off that gray. I'm gonna have to grab some so I can finish the hat off, which is no worries. I mean, no biggie. I was thinking we're almost done. We still have to do the paws. Okay, and even though this hat is gray, you have this gold or your skin color here, it's okay. It's not going to show. Okay. Just grab the color underneath until you get all the way around to where you started. And then I'm just going to throw that tail in there. Yep, now we're almost back to the beginning, right there. Boy. And then I'm going to secure this stitch. And then lose it just like I've done the rest of them. Somewhere in that hat, making sure that I'm not going through anything else. Pinch it, cut it, fluff it, and we're good. So, let's grab our paws and do those. You probably have a lot left from the paws, but you know, better safe than sorry. Hate to get somewhere and you're trying to close something up and it's not working. And where we're going to put these at, make sure you're doing them upside down, is just right next to your collar. Okay, so again, we're just surface sewing. We're trying to grab 2 loops all the way around. I'll show you one and then you can do the other one, and then I will come back and do the last part of the hat. The little tilt, the little fold, whatever you want to call it. Glasses are sliding off my face here. Okay. And I am good with that. We're going to go ahead and lose this like we've done the rest. Just be sure you're pinching it so it will get lost. Or you could just, if you forget to pinch it, you can just cut off the other side. But that's one of the paws, and you can go ahead and do the other one. And if you still have a tail right here, that's good. And if not, get the same color yarn so we can finish with the tilt of the sleepy cat. Okay, so the last and final piece is tilting our little sleepy cap. Okay, so I thought I secured that in there. Oh, this is the new one. So if you have a tail already, that's wonderful. If not, go ahead and grab some yarn. It's what I had to do. Completely forgot that we had to sew this part on. And again, all we're doing is like pulling this up a little bit and flapping it down to the side, and then we're just going to sew it just like we've been surface sewing all of this. Okay, grabbing two yarns, two strands, I mean 2 strands of yarn, and then you will have to maneuver this, doing the best you can to secure it. Okay, I'm going to take an opportunity to close that little circle right there. Little circle right there. Let's see where I'm at. Come back around. Come back around this way. And there's really no right or wrong way to do this. I mean, as long as you're getting it secured to the C2C square, I mean, that's all that matters. And that you're not going to be able to see your stitches from the back. That's important too. That's why we're just grabbing the front stitches. I'm going to close this because I don't like the way that looks. You can see that gold there. And my yarn came out. I'll thread it again and then just get it lost in yarn space. And that's it. Okay, give me a second and I will show you what the whole blanket looks like when it's done. Okay, this is how it worked up. I did another row of granny square and then I did a picot row. But on the sides I did a half double crochet for the second row of the granny in the green. So there it is. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm sorry if I caused any confusion. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Please always share the video. I just want to show you all the different colors that I made. And I was really excited about this pattern, and I'm hoping that you will enjoy it too. This can also be made up for a little girl. Just change the colors. This is obviously for a little boy. So again, together, let's continue to crochet it forward. Bye now.